Specificity is definitely a needed part of conditioning workout. If you're trying to improve a specific thing like running, you need to get out and run. The importance of specificity. Okay, so when it comes to conditioning work, and you're trying to improve a specific thing, you need to train that specific thing. For instance, if you are trying to improve your running, you need to run, okay? And it is different to running on the treadmill. Plenty of people make this mistake of getting really good at running on the treadmill, then they go outdoors to try to run, and they're still terrible at it because it's a different thing. Treadmills are really good for that additional conditioning work, but you need to condition yourself to outdoors running. It's a complementary exercise rather than an actual substitute, okay? So if you are trying to specifically get good at something, then you actually need to do that thing. Your muscles fire in a specific way. Your all of the like energy systems in those muscles start to operate in different ways. Blood flow increases in certain areas. Neurons start to fire different ways. You get better coordination. There's so many things that happen when you are actually working that specific movement rather than substituting with something that's kind of like it. Okay. Now, if you are terrible at running, so with my programming, I take into account whether I know if you can run for, enough time to get an aerobic stimulus out of it as well. So what you need to do is condition yourself to the running, but then also make sure you are developing your aerobic system. So if you are really bad at running, like you can't run for any more than, a couple of minutes at a time, a few things you can do. Specificity, you can do interval stuff. So walk, run. Other things that you can do is do a little bit of running. So you're getting conditioning to that actual outdoor running and just try to build it up over time. Or as well as, so once you do that little bit of running, then go on to cardio equipment and stuff that now you've shifted away from that specific running development. Now you are just developing your aerobic system. So now you're working for 60 to 90 minutes with some cardio type work, all depending on the intensity, like I went over in a different one. So yeah, specificity is a huge thing when it comes to trying to improve your running, because your body works in certain ways, your muscles fire certain ways, your blood flow goes to them differently, the mitochondria starts to develop better, and you actually increase in your working muscles. So there's so many things that happen when you are actually working that specific movement. And just think of, swimmers. They are awesome, and even cyclists as well. Really good at cycling, really good at swimming. But when you get them out of the water, this isn't all the time, but you'd expect, a high-level swimmer or a high-level cyclist to get off that exercise and go to running because they're so fit to be able to, and you'd expect them to be able to run really well. But it doesn't mean they're going to be able to. Yes, their aerobic system is going to be on point and really high level, but it's not specific to that exercise that they're doing. So they'll come across to running. They're going to be better than the average Joe, but they're not going to be as good at it as they're swimming or as they're cycling, because there's so many other things that come to being good at that specific movement, and including how your muscles develop and your energy systems develop in those muscles. Okay, so specificity is definitely a needed part of conditioning workout. If you're trying to improve a specific thing like running, you need to get out and run.